If you Google challenger brand, you get 30 million hits. But for all the conversation about challengers, one might question how sophisticated our understanding of that concept really is. Although David versus Goliath is thought to be the archetypal challenger stance, in reality, it's really the most common challenger narrative. To explore the broader range of challenger narratives, please welcome Mike Cooper, Worldwide CEO of PhD.
We're very honoured as PhD to be back on the main stage this year at Cannes again. If you work in marketing or advertising, and I'm imagining most of the people in this room probably do, the whole area of challenger brands, the concept of a smaller brand taking share from a larger competitor by being more nimble or more creative, more innovative, or perhaps just by being maverick, is genuinely fascinating. We find this particularly interesting at PhD because we ourselves launched as a challenger brand back in 1990 as a strategic planning media brand when everybody else was talking just about buying scale. And as a challenger brand ourselves, we've long been fans of the work done in this area by Adam Morgan and his Eat Big Fish organization. In fact, it's no exaggeration to say that Adam is the world's foremost expert on challenger brands.
In the 1920s, Ernest Hemingway was challenged to write an entire story in 6 words. And his solution famously was this, which he subsequently claimed was some of the finest prose he'd ever written. His contemporary Dorothy Parker, always competitive, decided to try and go one better and write an entire story in 2 words. And her solution was this. And you look at that and you think, what a wonderfully heady cocktail that is of sex, religion, death probably, power, money, politics, all in 2 words. Fantastic. And you also think to yourself, wow, 2-word story. That must be really difficult to write, particularly one that's really compelling and interesting. But actually, I'm not sure it is really, is it? Because there is a 2-word story that actually a lot of people are reading and talking about at the moment. And that 2-word story is challenger brand. And this is me in my hotel room this morning getting, what is it, 38.5 million hits on that.
I left Howie's and I wrote a business plan for jeans and I showed it to my investor and they said, this is brilliant, let's go. And I went, there's something missing here. And we're defined by not what we do, but why we do it. And for me, I couldn't work out why I was going to go and start this thing again. And then I got a phone call one day, and Gideon, the old jeans designer, said, why aren't you doing the plan? It's a great plan. And I said, well, I hadn't worked out why. And he said, well, I thought it was about getting the town making jeans again. And it was like sort of like a bit of a moment where you just go, of course, it's actually, that's the why. We're going to go and try and get 400 people their jobs back. That's why we want to go and start a great global denim company, because the skill is in this town. The skill never left the town. The economics made the factory leave, not the fact that they weren't good at it.
So just to leave you with some things that if you leave this room shaking with excitement at everything I've heard and determined to take it and try it and explore it some more on your brands or with your brand owners or with your agencies, a couple of things that you can do that might stimulate you and the people that you do it with. First of all, there's an app. The app is on the Cannes app. If you look for the thing that asks you kind of what's your type, you can fill it in. It asks you 8 questions, either about your brand or yourself or both. You fill in those 8 questions, and it tells you which of those 10 challengers you are. You're going to be a change agent in your organization. This is the kind of game changer you are. You do it on your brand. This is the kind of challenger your brand needs to be. I'm a different kind of challenger for my brand. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It tells you that as well. Very interesting. And finally, 5 questions for a challenger to leave you with before we go. You have to understand what you're challenging. I shouldn't have told about the free books, should I? Big mistake. What are you challenging? What are your motivations? What's the source of your mandate, if you have one? Which of these narratives do you think is the most compelling? And finally, how would you tell that in a two-word story? Thank you very much.